You know those things you see that look like they could just fall apart at any second? A rickety old shed, maybe? But what if that appearance, that ramshackle look, is actually hiding a really profound kind of strength? Today, we're going to dig into that idea, and it all starts with how we see the world, and more importantly, ourselves. So let's start with that word ramshackle. You can almost feel it, can't you? A creaking floorboard, a fence leaning just a little too far. It just screams weakness, like it was put together with more hope than anything else. But what if that's only half the story?
Okay, let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about it for a second. When was a time you were just completely surprised by how strong something, or maybe someone, turned out to be, even though they looked weak on the surface?
And this is where it gets really personal. This whole ramshackle idea isn't just about old buildings. The writer here applies it to themselves, describing this low energy, timid vibe on the outside that, well, it pretty much matches exactly how they feel on the inside. It's that feeling of just barely holding it all together. And that feeling, well, it takes us to a place most of us are pretty scared of: rock bottom. The writer starts to wonder, is this it? Is this fragile, barely holding on feeling? Is this my personal rock bottom? It's a heavy question to even let yourself think. So you've got this huge conflict, right? On one side, there's the totally natural fear of hitting your absolute lowest point. But on the other side, this really intriguing question pops up. Could there actually be something valuable hiding down there? And if you even consider exploring that, wow, you run into some big questions pretty fast. Like, is it actually a good thing to admit you're at your lowest? Is it even safe to poke around in that headspace? And really, what could possibly be worthwhile in that kind of unknown? These are not easy things to ask. Yeah, and let's be real here. Thinking about your own rock bottom isn't some fun mental exercise. As the source says so bluntly, it's a place that can make you feel incredibly sad and just completely alone. That fear is real. And this really gets to the core of it. Is this a safe trip to take? The word treacherous is there for a reason. It feels like dangerous territory, a place you might go into and not come out of the same way. And then comes that awful, spiraling thought. You know the one that's so paralyzing. What if this isn't even the real bottom? What if I start digging around and just find a whole new level of worse that I didn't even know existed? It's the fear of a pit that has no bottom. But right there, that's the pivot. A simple but honestly a game-changing what if. What if you've already seen the worst of it? What if, from this exact spot, the only direction left to go is up? And that's the moment the whole perspective flips. You go from being afraid of what might happen to making an active choice. I mean, if you're already at the bottom, the odds are kind of in your favor now, right? So why not take that chance? Why not bet on things getting better? This all leads us to the final, really transformative idea, a completely different way of looking at what it means to feel like you're falling to pieces. Here it is. This is the big insight. Maybe what feels like breaking down is actually a kind of reinvention. The pieces aren't lost, they're just rearranging themselves into something new, something you didn't expect, something way more interesting. So we'll end by turning this right back to you. The next time you feel that ramshackle, rock bottom feeling setting in, maybe try asking a new question. Instead of asking, how do I fix this? Ask yourself, what interesting new shape am I becoming?